Have you ever wondered why you reach for that extra slice of cake even when you're not hungry? Well, welcome to the fascinating world of eating psychology, a field that delves into how our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors shape our relationship with food and our eating habits. Let's start by taking a bite out of the role emotions play in our eating habits. Ever noticed how some people tend to eat more when they're stressed or anxious? That's because our emotions can significantly influence how we eat. It's like our feelings have their own private chat with our stomachs, dictating what to eat and when. This phenomenon is commonly known as emotional eating. On the flip side, others may find their appetite disappearing faster than a chocolate cake at a birthday party when they're anxious. This contrasting response is a classic example of how varied our emotional responses to food can be. But emotions are just the tip of the iceberg lettuce. Our thoughts and beliefs about food also have a hefty serving in how we approach our meals. Just think about it. If you believe that all carbs are the enemy, you're likely to pass on the pasta, no matter how tempting it looks. It's not just our emotions and thoughts that shape our eating habits. Our social and cultural environment also play a critical role in the feast that is our relationship with food. Family traditions, cultural influences, and even peer pressure can determine what lands on our plates and how we eat it. In the grand buffet of eating psychology, we also find severe eating disorders like anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating disorder. These conditions often stem from a mix of psychological, emotional, and social factors, turning the joy of eating into a source of distress. Eating therapists are the superheroes in this scenario. They work with individuals to help them navigate their eating problems, foster a healthier relationship with food, and improve their eating habits. In essence, the psychology of eating is a diverse field that explores the intricate dance between our minds and our meals, and how this interaction can impact our overall health and well-being. So it seems our emotions can have quite the say in what we eat, but what about our thought processes? Do you have a no-go food list, or perhaps certain foods you believe to be evil? You see, our cognitive processes, thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions are powerful drivers of our eating habits. It's like having a gastronomic GPS inside our heads, directing us towards or away from certain foods based on our perceptions. Let's talk about the concept of food guilt. Picture this. You're at a party, and there's a mouth-watering chocolate cake on the table. You want a piece, but you've labeled cake as a bad food. You give in to temptation, and then the guilt sets in. You feel like you've committed a cardinal sin just for enjoying a slice of cake. This is a prime example of food guilt, and it's a clear demonstration of the power our minds wield over our eating habits. Now, it's not inherently wrong to categorize foods based on their nutritional value. In fact, it's a good practice to be mindful of what we eat. However, the problem arises when we assign moral values to foods. When we start seeing certain foods as good and others as evil, we set ourselves up for an unhealthy relationship with food. Misconceptions about food can also lead us down a path of unhealthy eating habits. For example, the belief that all fats are bad has led many people to eliminate fats from their diet completely. But the truth is, our bodies need fats to function properly. There are good fats, like those found in avocados and nuts, which are essential for our health. It's crucial to understand that food isn't just about nutrition. It's also about enjoyment, satisfaction, and even celebration. So let's stop demonizing certain foods and start appreciating them for what they bring to our lives. Let's replace fear and guilt with knowledge and understanding. Remember, our beliefs and thoughts about food can shape our eating habits, either positively or negatively. They can either lead us to a healthy, balanced diet or trap us in a cycle of guilt and fear. Our minds certainly have a powerful influence on our eating habits, but what about the people and culture around us? Ever noticed how your eating habits change when you're with family or friends, or even when you're in a different country? Let's dive into the fascinating influence of social settings and cultural backgrounds on our eating habits. In a social setting, it's not just about what's on the plate. It's about the shared experience, the conversation, and the customs around the table. Ever found yourself eating more at a family gathering or a party? That's the power of social influence. We tend to match our eating habits to those around us, a concept known as social matching. So if everyone's indulging, you're more likely to indulge too. And then there's the cultural factor. Our cultural backgrounds shape our food preferences, meal structures, and even our perception of portion sizes. For instance, in the Mediterranean, meals are often viewed as a social event, with a focus on fresh ingredients and a wide variety of foods. On the other hand, in many Western societies, On-the-go meals and fast food are more prevalent, reflecting a faster pace of life. Individual cultures also have their unique food traditions and rituals. Think about the importance of a Sunday roast in the UK, the reverence for sushi preparation in Japan, or the communal experience of a barbecue in Australia. These traditions not only influence what we eat, but also how we eat and how much we eat. And it's not just about the broader cultural context. Even within a single culture, family traditions play a big role. For example, some families may have a tradition of large, hearty meals, while others might prioritize smaller, more frequent meals. But it's important to remember that these influences are not inherently good or bad. They simply shape our relationship with food. Understanding them can help us make more conscious decisions about our eating habits and maybe even challenge some of the less healthy norms or traditions we've grown up with. Our social circle and cultural background clearly shape our eating habits. But what happens when these habits go awry? Stay tuned as we delve into the world of eating disorders in our next scene. Are you familiar with terms like anorexia, bulimia, or binge eating disorder? These aren't just words, but actual conditions that millions around the globe grapple with daily. They are serious eating disorders that often stem from distorted eating habits and can have life-altering, even life-threatening consequences. Let's delve a little deeper into these disorders. Anorexia nervosa is characterized by an intense fear of gaining weight, leading to self-starvation and an unhealthy loss of body weight. Bulimia nervosa, on the other hand, involves cycles of binge eating followed by purging, using methods like vomiting, fasting, or excessive exercise. Then there's binge eating disorder, where individuals lose control over their eating, often consuming large amounts of food in a short period, but without the subsequent purging seen in bulimia. These disorders are not about food, but rather about how individuals cope with their emotions, self-esteem, and self-image. Psychological factors, such as perfectionism or a need for control, can contribute to the development of eating disorders. Emotional factors, like stress or anxiety, can trigger unhealthy eating behaviors as a coping mechanism. Moreover, societal pressures and standards of beauty can also play a role. The relentless pursuit of thinness, influenced by media and societal norms, can fuel these disorders. But let's not forget, eating disorders do not discriminate. They can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, or cultural background. They are complex mental health conditions that require professional help. And here's where the role of eating psychologists comes in. They work closely with individuals, helping them understand their relationship with food, identify destructive eating patterns, and replace them with healthier habits. Eating disorders are a serious concern, but the good news is help is available. Remember, recovery is a journey, not a destination. And it's a journey that one doesn't have to walk alone. There are numerous resources and support systems available, ready to help those affected regain control over their lives. So, stay tuned as we explore the role of therapy in eating psychology in the next scene. Ever heard of eating therapy? It's a fascinating and transformative field that combines the power of psychology and nutrition. The goal? To help individuals develop a healthier relationship with food and improve their eating habits. This is where the role of an eating psychologist comes into play. Akin to a culinary detective, an eating psychologist delves into the deeper layers of one's relationship with food. They explore emotional factors, cognitive beliefs, and social influences that may be shaping your eating habits, often in ways you might not even be aware of. Let's say you've been conditioned to associate food with comfort, leading you to overeat when you're stressed. An eating psychologist can guide you through the process of understanding this connection and help you find healthier ways to cope with stress. Or perhaps you've developed negative beliefs about certain foods. Here, the psychologist can help you challenge these beliefs, paving the way for a more balanced diet and a more positive mindset towards food. The beauty of eating therapy is its tailored approach. Each individual is unique in their relationship with food, and therapy respects and addresses this uniqueness. It's important to remember that therapy isn't a magic wand that fixes everything overnight. It's a journey requiring commitment and courage. But with the right guidance, it's possible to reshape our relationship with food for the better. So, what have we learned about the psychology of eating? We've delved into how our emotions, thoughts, and the world around us influence our eating habits. We've explored how these elements can sometimes lead to eating disorders, and how therapy can play a pivotal role in fostering a healthier bond with food. Remember, understanding our eating habits is the first step towards a healthier relationship with food. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you for watching.